Good morning and welcome back to another live stream, everybody. We are starting the morning and week off right, and we've got some big news to get to here this morning. Europe limiting proof of work crypto. We're going to talk about that. Bitcoin and Ethereum could be impacted by this. This is news coming out yesterday. Very important stuff here. Very important information that all of us will be or could be affected by. And we're going to talk about why they're doing this, at least why we're hearing about it now, and where they stand on cryptocurrencies that use the proof of work mechanism. So now nothing's set in stone here. Of course, it's ongoing. Today is a big day. But here's the thing. The United States had crypto regulation talks, in the last couple weeks here. Now Europe having them. I think everybody is trying to figure out a way forward. What exactly will happen here? We don't have all the information yet, but we're going to bring you up to speed on the latest, talk a little bit about how we came to be here in the first place. And Europe expected to be putting out something today on this front. So, of course, they're about 5 hours ahead, give or take. And so we're going to try to scour the news and information and see what we can find. So good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Glad you're back here with us. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, what's happening? Kurt, how you doing? Crypto Demon, what's happening? JJ, how can they ban something they can't control? I mean, here's the thing. They could essentially, do whatever they want in terms of centralized exchanges. Now, they can't ban decentralized exchanges, right? So we're going to get into it here, guys. But here's the thing. Many people, buy their crypto through a centralized exchange. That is backed by a government agency in some form or fashion. Okay. So yes, sure, they could go the decentralized route, but a lot of people don't know how to do that. So what's up, the guy? Yeah, first sip, always ready to rock and roll. What's happening, brother? Got my coffee. We are ready to rock and roll. ADZ, I am in EU. No ban scammer. Dude, I'm not scamming. I'm bringing you the news. This is CoinDesk talking about it, dude. So, I don't know what you're trying to say here, man, but this is real. It's actually real news that we're talking about. So, what's up, Timsky? How we doing, man? Kurt, what's happening? Welcome. All right, so here's what's going on, guys. Limiting proof of work crypto back on the table as EU Parliament prepares virtual currencies vote, which is expected again to happen today. Now, a provision looking to force proof of work crypto. So proof of work opposed to proof of stake. Proof of work right now would include Bitcoin, Ethereum. Of course, Ethereum is slowly moving to proof of stake, but they're not there yet. But they're looking to force proof of work cryptos like Bitcoin to switch to a more environmentally friendly proof of stake consensus mechanism. And this is the draft of, MiCA up for a parliamentary vote on Monday. So again, the latest draft of the EU's proposed legislative framework for governing virtual currencies, MiCA, markets and crypto assets, still contains a provision that could limit the use of proof of work cryptocurrencies. Only control government has to ban, make it illegal and tax it, in my opinion. Here's the thing, guys. Centralized exchanges, they could do something about these. Decentralized exchanges, decentralized wallets, they couldn't. Okay. But it's still a big story, and we have to unpack it and talk about it because it affects us all. And this is the top story. What's happening, Emmett? Hey, Zach, I don't know if you saw my messages. I'm glad you caught me live. I just really wanted to thank you so much. It inspired me so much. Emmett, I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me. I started this channel to help people from day one. I've got 10 plus years of teaching in higher ed, and that's what I've done my entire life. So there's a lot of people throwing shade and a lot of haters out there these days. I guess that just comes with the territory. I'm trying to get better with that and not responding to these people. But I can tell you genuinely where my heart is. Every single day I wake up to help people. So people can say whatever they want. Listen, I don't get everything right. Okay. I don't get every single thing I put on my Patreon posts right. So people can nitpick and pick these little things and look at you dumper. And I don't really care. I'm done. I'm done talking to you. I'm done responding to you. I'm over it. You're dead to me. I got to move on. And I'm getting better with that because, I've never been in this situation. 8 months ago, I was just, didn't have this platform. So I'm learning. And Emmett, I appreciate that somebody out there understands where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to do here. So I appreciate you, man. Tim PK, what's happening? Good morning. Good morning. Boca, what's happening, man? What's happening? Real news is classed as FUD these days for some reason. The crypto demon, this is not FUD, man. This is this is real. This is happening. Okay. Tipsy launches on the 15th. What's that? What's Tipsy, Boca? I have learned and gained at least 3K from watching your videos, advice, doing research. Thank you so much for what you do. Please keep up the good work. Appreciate that, Emmett. Appreciate that. Preach. Yeah, I will, Kurt. I might go on some tirades today because you know, I made the mistake last night, of responding to some people who, let's face it, they're, they don't need to be responded to. And I'm learning. Without centralized exchanges, if the ban, how can we convert crypto to fiat? The real deal is that. Yeah, it's true. Cryptoverse, that's where it comes. That's where it gets interesting, right? Let's see here. The guy, what's happening? Made 15K last year. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, dude. That means the world. I love hearing these stories, man. I love hearing people have success. I love it, man. I love it. Oh, it's a metaverse game. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so let's keep reading here and talk a little bit about more on what this entails, and then also I want to bring you guys up to speed on where we're at with this. Okay, so the EU basically is in charge, the Parliament of EU in charge of this MiCA legislative framework. Said at the time, Dr. Stefan Berger said at the time that the paragraph in question had been removed, but that a final decision had not yet been made. So one version of the new draft, again reviewed by CoinDesk here. Let me highlight this because this is important. Reviewed by CoinDesk has a similar provision, though significantly toned down from its original. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Got to go down a little bit. There we go. It says that crypto assets shall be subject to minimal environmental sustainability standards with respect to their consensus mechanism used for validating transactions before being issued, offered, or admitted to trading in the union. Now, guys, I just want to talk about this real quick. I don't think they're going to fully ban this, but there's some chatter about it, and we've got to address it. I don't think it's a full-on ban. I think that sets Europe, the EU, really behind in a lot of ways. But they're certainly concerned about proof-of-work consensus mechanisms like Bitcoin and like how Ethereum is currently structured. And could they put a limited a limited ability on these, or in some capacity, or ban them while they're still proof of work, or who knows? Everything is on the table still. So if proof of work consensus mechanism is operating on a small scale, it is exempt from having a meet sustainability standard according to the provision. What qualifies as a small scale operation has yet to be determined. So although there are plans, let's talk about Ethereum here for a little bit, because right now Ethereum is still proof of work. Okay, they're not yet proof of stake. Although there are plans for Ethereum to move from proof to work to a less energy consuming consensus mechanism called proof of stake, it is unclear how Bitcoin, the largest global cryptocurrency by volume traded, could actually transition from a proof of work over to a proof of stake. So, while there's been a huge push as of late to use renewable energy and Bitcoin mining, the industry is still very much dependent on traditional energy sources, thus making the cryptocurrency potentially vulnerable under the stronger proposal. Now, listen, I'm not saying that Bitcoin is good for the environment and Bitcoin mining is good for the environment, but who remembers a couple weeks ago when I pulled up a graph as it relates to Bitcoin mining and just how bad it is for the environment compared to other technologies? If you look at this, it is a blip on the map. It is a blip on the radar in terms of what is actually damaging our environment. Bitcoin mining is a very small fraction of what's actually causing harm to our environment. So let me see if I can actually pull this back up. It was like documenting Bitcoin post on Bitcoin carbon emissions. Hopefully this pops up. Here's one. The carbon footprint of Bitcoin is only 2% and shrinking compared to the size of the military industrial complex's CO2 emissions. Look at this. Okay. So people want to make this like the argument here. Okay. Here's Bitcoin down here for emissions of CO2e. Okay. Gold mining and jewelry, higher. Finance and insurance sector, higher. Military industrial complex, way higher. It's not even close. Okay. Not even close. And there are other examples of this too. Let me see if I can find another one. Let's see. There was another one that was recent. Let me see if I find it this way. Compared to, it was like dryers. It was like dryers. I mean, here's another one, guys. Okay. Bitcoin carbon emission 50 times lower than that of aviation. So, like, this has been an ongoing narrative that just has so many holes in it. All right, here's a running thread. Bitcoin's energy use and its indirect environmental impact has always been a topic of discussion. We at CoinShares Research developed a comprehensive model to estimate emissions and created our own data collection framework to populate it. Okay, so here you go. Bitcoin's share of global energy consumption. That is Bitcoin. That faint line that you see right there, that's Bitcoin, not Bitcoin. I mean, this argument is so flawed. Good morning, everybody. Coffee and crypto. What's happening, crypto life? What's going on? What's happening, Glenn? Well, now we know how threatening independent digital currencies are to the establishment. Last gasps, I say. Great point. Yeah. Daniel, what's happening? Masari has a breakdown of energy use and carbon footprint investments. Daniel, send that over to me. I'll pull that up. If you want to send me that via Discord, that'd be awesome. And let me pull up Discord on this tab so I have it, and we can continue to make this argument, guys. I mean, this is the narrative that you always see, and it's so freaking flawed. It's so flawed. Let's see. Hey, Zach, you think Shiba is going to make a mobile version of Shiba Swap? I really want to use that platform. That's an interesting idea. The guy, I don't know. I think that'd be a good idea. Morning. Good morning. Everything, what's happening with you around crypto? It's got to do with the almighty bankers worldwide. Yeah, we're talking about it right now. EU talking about limiting proof of work crypto, and Bitcoin and Ethereum are in the mix. So here's another one. As an annualized emissions rate of 41 ton CO2, the global Bitcoin mining industry, has a small environmental footprint relative to the aviation industry, marine transport sector, air conditioners and electric fans, data centers, and tumble dryers. Here's the one I wanted to show you. This is it. Okay. Here's aviation, marine transport sector. Here's air conditioners. Here's data centers, tumble dryers. Tumble dryers. Is anybody going on Twitter going crazy about tumble dryers and what they're doing to the environment? Or are people still drying their clothes? I mean, think about that. Seriously. I mean, what's going on with that? Nobody's going on record saying we need to ban tumble dryers, or we need to ban data centers. Nobody's saying we need to ban air conditioners. Nobody's saying we need to ban aviation. But yet Bitcoin, a blip on the radar, and people just want to find fault with it. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Of course, none of this financial advice, everybody that's tuning in here, welcome into the stream. We're bouncing into the EU situation, talking about what's going on. Make sure you like the smash button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you like this type of content. All right, let's go back here and see what else is in the thread. Let's see. We compared Bitcoin to a broad set of developed and emerging market countries. At the current at a current carbon intensity of 466, Bitcoin produces less carbon per unit of energy than the global average at 492. Okay. There's some more information. The potential for miners to reduce the carbon footprint of flared and vented natural gas is vast. In the United States alone, this is enough to completely offset all emissions, or even have a positive net emissions impact. Okay. Do we need to go further? To learn more about the research model and researching data, okay, they go on to say you can learn more here. CoinShares Co. I like that. Very good stuff there. So interesting. Okay, let's go back in here. So that's the narrative right now. Okay, extremely flawed in my opinion, but that's the narrative. The crypto community has been swift to react, with some calling on citizens in the EU to contact their parliamentarians to oppose the measure. Ledger, a crypto hardware wallet provider, issued a statement saying individuals and organizations should be free to choose the technology most appropriate to their needs. Guys, as I'm going through all this, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'll try to bring up some really good opinions and thoughts on this. I want to hear what you have to say. Policymakers should neither impose nor discriminate in favor of particular technology. This is deeply concerning and would have serious consequences for Europe. Yeah, exactly, Nick. Ban tumble dryers right now. Let's go. Ban tumble dryers. I mean, come on, guys. It's crazy. Um, we need to ban tumble dryers, decentralize the laundry. I am starting a clothesline company. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's crazy, man. What's up, dude? Thanks for the crypto tax message. 69 sip. Nice, man. What's up, Nick? Data is wonderful, Glenn. I mean, that just kind of shows how flawed this argument is. It's ridiculous. I'll take some gray hair, please. My hair was banned. Oh, shoot. That's hilarious. Morning, Gummy. What's happening? How do I join Discord and Patreon? Emmett, there's a link down below in the description. Should be down there in the description. We'd love to have you over there, man. Yes, I think Jag, you're saying you agree with what's going on, man. I agree, man. Let's hope this doesn't go through. I agree. Crypto investing, I don't think this is fully going to happen. All right, so Pierre Person, who's this? A legislator in Paris, member of the Law Commission, condemned the newly added language in an extensive Twitter thread. Okay. Let's see. In reality, this version is mortifying for our competitiveness, while at the same time, President Biden has signed an act calling for the U.S. to fully embrace this new ecosystem. Exactly. The United States is fully embracing it. Sure, they're going to go back and figure out a way to make some extra cash, right? For sure. I mean, that's part of it. But at the end of the day, Janet Yellen and company did say they want to be the leaders. They want to be visionaries in this area while Europe is going the complete opposite direction. This is not good from a competitive standpoint. Even if a fraction of this happens and it fully doesn't be banned, they're not just going to fully ban all these proof of works. It's not good. It's not good for Europe. So he says, once again, we are going against the history. Once again, we are leaving opportunities to others while boasting of having a good regulation. If this text passes as it stands, we will pay the price in terms of our competitiveness and the interests of European citizens. Very interesting stuff. And again, this is Pierre Person, a legislator in Paris. Let me know what you guys think about this. I agree with Pierre here. I agree 100%. I think this is a way to not remain competitive. This is going against innovation. This is going against being part of the future. Here's the thing. Acknowledge that there's some issues with proof of work, albeit that these issues are certainly overstated when tumble dryers are producing more carbon emissions than freaking Bitcoin. However, address it. That's fine. But come on, guys. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. What are you trying to prove? I don't get it. This is the way forward. You're going to be left behind. I mean, it's just it's crazy. Let's see here. Neil, what's happening? When they try to shut down crypto, there's a real fear in government that crypto will take over fiat currency. This is inevitable. I agree. Embrace it. Embrace it. That's what the U.S. is doing, at least from what we've heard from, the executive action that took place recently. Flee to BRIC countries. I mean, it might happen. It might happen. People might start fleeing to other crypto-friendly countries. In fact, I think it's already starting to happen. Abel, I did hear about Gate.io. What are my thoughts? I gave my quick thoughts about it on Twitter. Just make sure that I would remove myself from the exchange. I've never used Gate personally. But yeah, I would get my funds off of there. Damien says, I live in the EU, in Ireland. My government never talks about Bitcoin or crypto. We even have a national radio ad campaign ongoing at the minute from Bank of Ireland, which suggests crypto is a scam. Really? That is interesting, Damien. Why do you think this is, man? Like, what's the point here? Is it control? Is it to remain powerful? Is it to keep control of the system, the narrative? What's the reason here? Why wouldn't you want to innovate? Why wouldn't you want to move forward and be part of the future? I just don't get it. By the way, I've got some really good ideas. Well, at least what I think are good ideas for future videos. I'm going to try to sprinkle a lot of these new ideas. So some of them kind of stem around crypto regulation too. So be on the lookout for some of that stuff. But This is really interesting, Damien. I love this perspective, given that you're there in the EU. Very interesting. Want to guess which top 10 chain uses the least energy? I'm gonna guess Cardano, and I've seen that stat actually, Daniel. Yeah, it is Cardano. I've seen it. Um, the bankers must love their 8 tracks too and want to ban smartphones. Exactly, man. They're freaking living like dinosaurs, man. They're living in the past. We got to move forward. I mean, it's crazy to me. I just don't get it. We got to move forward. Muzz, what's happening? Good morning. Coffee in hand. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always, man. Happy Monday morning. Happy Monday morning to everybody out there. Hopefully, everybody's jump starting their mornings here. Very good. So let's see if there's been any price action here. Let me go over to coin. I've actually already got CoinGecko up. Let's see what's going on with the market here as it relates to this news here. We're at 38.8 with Bitcoin, 25.7 with Ethereum. So we're pretty much flat across the board right now. It's not really affecting us too much right now. But again, this EU talking about regulatory framework, talking about even banning Ethereum and Bitcoin. Yes, that's been thrown around. A lot to unpack here. So we'll continue to dive in here. So that's the end of this article. Here's what I want to jump into. This is by Bloomberg. This will provide us a little bit more information. So EU to review regulatory framework for crypto. Measure could ban Bitcoin, Ethereum, industry leaders say. Proof of work mechanism to be targeted by regulation. So for everybody out there in the comments, all the Twitter warriors out there saying that, Zach, you're just creating FUD. No, I'm not. It's right here on Bloomberg. It's right in front of your face. Measure could ban Bitcoin, Ethereum, industry leaders say. It's right there. It could be Boca. You're right. It could be a puff play by politicians. It could be. But there's no question that they're trying to limit what people can do when it comes to proof of work mechanisms. Good morning. Good morning. The preparatory for CBDC introduction. Let's see. Why keep a useless dollar that devalues every year? I agree, the guy. It's why a lot of the smart people have not kept their money in banks for years. They don't keep a lot of money cash on hand. Believes, what's happening, brother? Banks make money from money. They have no incentive to give people freedom. That's a great point. That's a great point. Definitely. Great point. I'm actually going to drop this in a chat that I have with some other YouTubers and see if anybody wants to join. Let me just launch this over into our running chat over here. Pretty cool. All of us YouTubers are kind of all talking together in one big chat. It's super cool, actually. The kind of relationships we've built with everybody. I love it. Here, let's see here. I'll paste this and see if anybody wants to drop in. Whoops. Let's see here. Drop this in. If anyone wants to join in the discussion. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so let's get into this. A European Parliamentary Committee will vote Monday today on a new regulatory framework. It says here for crypto assets, which could accelerate passage. Which could accelerate passage of a measure that the industry executives say could practically ban key digital currencies, including Bitcoin and Ethereum in Europe. This is the headline, folks. Okay, if you're just tuning in. Now, crypto assets issued and or traded in the EU shall be subject to minimum environmental sustainability standards and set up and maintain a phased rollout plan to ensure compliance with those requirements, according to the final draft of the law, dubbed MiCA, that was seen by Bloomberg News. The Economy and Monetary Affairs Committee will vote on the bill this Monday, today. The reference to minimum sustainability as well as the rollout requirements appear to be last-minute changes introduced to curb or ban the use of digital currencies, working on a so-called proof of work consensus mechanism. Okay. For instance, these are things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay. Let's see. I plan on making a video of behind the scenes crypto world everyone is unaware of soon. I think it demands attention, if not receiving. That's great, Kurt. That's good, man. If anything, the dollar is more of a scam than crypto. When has your dollar doubled in your bank? That's a good point, the guy. That's a good point. Follow the money. Banks are not reflecting. The bankers are driving the narrative. Good points there, Boca. Crypto investing says governments are scared. They know this will change the world. I agree. I think they're scrambling right now. They're certainly scrambling. They don't want to lose control. Believes is backstage. We're going to bring him in. What's happening, brother?
What's going on?
Man, all of this craziness. They're talking about how bad Bitcoin is for the environment, yet tumble dryers are releasing more carbon emissions than Bitcoin. It's freaking ridiculous.
Well, so one of your watchers just a few minutes ago said probably what was the most important thing, that it's the Bank of Ireland that is running all these ad campaigns. They don't care about the environment at all. They care about their money. They're just trying to make sure that they continue to make money. And the way that they make money is by transacting money. And the only reason that we're seeing CBDCs starting to become a talking point around here is because, like, what I've always said is nobody knows how money transfers from bank to bank. So you don't know when you put your credit card into something, you have no idea how it goes from your bank to another bank. So behind the scenes, the easiest way for them to do it is to have a stabilized token that they're trading back and forth for $1 each, so that they're just making these transactions digitally and as quickly as possible. And they're not transporting trucks with money in them like the old days, those
Right.
Brink security trucks and stuff like that. That's what we're seeing with CBDCs, because it'll make everything easier. And of course, Capital One will have its own, and everybody's going to have its own. But in some of these older places, the Bank of Ireland, they're not ready for that. They're not ready to do that. They don't want to see that happen because it's not good for business. When it becomes good for business, then you'll start to see that mass adoption. But you're going to see it on their terms because they know what's best for you, because they're the guys that have all the money. They know what's best.
100%, man. So many good points there. I think Dan Physics here brings up another good point. If they ban proof of work, most of the hash rate will just move elsewhere, like when China banned Bitcoin mining. It's a good point. It's going to move somewhere. Whoever decides to fully accept crypto, especially early on here, while we're going through these growing pains, they're going to be huge winners, right? In my opinion. So it's going to be really interesting to watch this all shake out. What I think is going to happen here is you're going to see kind of a ripple effect now. Since the U.S. started talking about crypto regulation, anybody who hasn't talked about crypto regulation yet will probably be doing so very soon, here this year, sometime this year in 2022. I think this will go down as the year of crypto regulation talks and shaking things out and kind of setting up where this industry is going from here. Believes anything else kind of just when you heard this news that you were just like, what's going on, man? I mean, because I saw this late last night and I was like, wait a minute, really? And then I read into it. I'm like, no, this is like real. Like they could really ban proof of work protocol here.
Well, I think that the most important part is, and this is the horrible part when you're talking about cryptocurrency. Like, we are on this cutting edge and we want to see this mass adoption. But guess what? They're right. Proof of work is why we're having energy consumption. Like, if you go back and you remember when the last big ban of crypto mining happened in China, that happened because they were having rolling brownouts across the nation. Like, that's crazy to imagine that an entire nation of people with a huge mining community, they identify that's the reason that they're having it, because it's consuming so much power. So when we move to proof of stake with Ethereum, that alleviates some of the burden. But until Bitcoin moves to proof of stake, then we are still going to have that problem continue to manifest itself, which is why, wasn't it Venezuela that's using volcano power for crypto mining or something like that? Like, what the best thing for us to see is going to be, the best thing for us to see would be like giant wind energy facilities with crypto mining. Just start to see green energy being used for mining crypto, and get industry leaders, get people together, and let's find the best places to do that. Do it out in the desert. You know what I mean? Like start to adopt. Put this put this shit out in the open in Arizona. I don't know if I can say that on here, but put that out in the open, like throughout Arizona. There's desert. There's nothing but desert out there. Put some windmills out there because you know that the wind's still blowing. Put some windmills out there, put some solar panels out there, and then start to run these mining rigs. Like some ambitious person like an Elon Musk, somebody's got to be thinking of some way to do this that makes it less energy intensive. And once they do that, then some of these problems go away, and then we can address the real problem. And the real problem is that the governments don't want to they don't want to not have control of the money because they know what's best for us.
Dude, here's I'm actually trying to find the apparently European Parliament has a live stream going. So Tim or Jim, I'm sorry, if you could drop a link, or somebody could, maybe one of the mods over on Discord or something, I definitely want to pull that up. But you mentioned something there, believes that, could Bitcoin move from proof of work to proof of stake? Like, is that obtainable? And like, how hard is that? Like, I don't know. I don't have those answers. I mean, it seems like they've obviously been running on this proof of work system since 2010. Like, how easy is it to transition for them to proof of stake?
So it would be the same. It's almost the same. Like there's some differences because Bitcoin is really an outdated sort of technology, even though it's our store of value. But there is a Bitcoin blockchain being worked on. So, sometime in the future, we're going to start seeing Bitcoin acting as a blockchain, and it is POS based. So we're already seeing the steps to have it addressed. Just like, we moved to POS on Ethereum in the second quarter of this year. So energy depletion from that is going to go way down. Now, the cost is not going to go way down yet. We still have some room to go for that because sharding isn't part of it. But, you probably, when you see Bitcoin, they'll probably do the whole thing at one time. Or if they're pressed like they're being pressed right now, then you might see that POS model start to show up in Bitcoin a lot faster than even I'm anticipating right now. But it's all coming. Like we're at this spot in cryptocurrency where, in order for us to evolve as a store of value and as an asset in the digital age, we have to keep up with the times. And the biggest threat to our world right now is the warming of the environment. So that man-made climate change portion gets severed when you start to take away the biggest electrical pull. And, to be fair, these people are not wrong when they say that Bitcoin mining is a drain on energy resources.
I agree. Here's what I just don't agree with, and I want your opinion. I just think it's so overstated. Like it's like the number one reason we can't accept cryptocurrency, when it's like, right now there are so many other things that we could be focusing on as it relates to carbon emissions, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I just don't like how overstated it is. And it's always been like this predominant narrative of like, well, Bitcoin just, we can't work with it because it's not environmentally friendly. Like, why can't we have a conversation about how we can fix that rather than just like, okay, nope, it can't work, we're done.
So so the disconnect there is, like, here's what I heard in my mind, even though I know you didn't mean it. If the government were involved in Bitcoin, it would be better because they would fix the problem of the energy consumption.
Yeah.
Government can't be involved. Like that's like a bridge too far. Acceptance of the model, acceptance of the process, fine. But as soon as you start to say, well, why can't we do this? And the government's like, well, you know what? If we came in and we fixed it, then we'd be really happy with it. And then all of a sudden, everything that we're talking about is gone because now the government has control. And it's fine if the government has a numeric value control. Like if Venezuela is just buying up Bitcoin, or China is just buying up Bitcoin, even if they're banning it, that's fine. That's the free market working to its best advantage. And it becomes a matter of money for everybody. So that part I don't have a problem with. But giving the government any sort of control and any sort of working relationship with the actual cryptocurrency market is a bridge too far. Like this whole idea was so that the government didn't control our money, and we can't give up control.
For sure. Trying to bring us up to speed on the latest here. I'm hearing maybe it's gotten delayed or postponed. I know there's a live stream floating out there too. Let me check my Discord and see if anybody dropped this into me. Hopefully we can kind of get the latest here. Let me see if I got any direct messages. Is there a live stream? I don't have a live stream, but here, there's actually something I wanted to show you, Believes, and show everybody out there. Let's see here, Mazzari, carbon emissions, coin. Let's see, it should be one of the images here. Yeah, here you go. This was something I had pulled up before. It must be in here in this article. Let's see. I'm not a member. Hold on, let's see. I know you guys can see this small, but I'm trying to bring this out big here. Here's what we'll do. All right, let me go back over here. All right, bear with me, guys. There we go. Okay, I know that's a little off here, but there you go. Carbon emissions of Bitcoin compared to other industries. Okay, so here's Bitcoin. I know that's a little shaky. You got gold industry, global banking, aviation, marine transport sector, air conditioners and electrical fans, data centers and tumble dryers. And like, this is the predominant narrative. This is just what I have an issue with. It's like, call it like it is. Don't like make it seem like it is like the end of the world because Bitcoin mining is, it's just, I don't know. Okay. I'm off that. I'm off that train. Let's see here.
But that's actually like the argument that they're going to make, and the successful argument that they're going to make is this. We didn't know about it when it was the airline. We didn't know about it when it was a tumble dryer. We didn't know about it when it was all of these different aspects. We do know about it now, and we can't add 4 more metric tons to it because we're already, and you guys have already told us through science, we're at a tipping point. We can't just keep tipping harder and harder into it. We're trying to make flying better. We're trying to make all these things better. We can't just add something new to that mix. So they have a valid argument if they want to. Now you and I and everybody in here knows this is not about the environment for most people. This is about control of your income. This is about control of your money and about keeping you in line. That's how this all works. But that ability that they have to still create this narrative that says that it's the energy cost, and then they can put up that stat right there, and we can say, well, this is all that it is. And they're like, right, we're already over capacity, and you're wanting to add this giant amount into something that we're already over capacity for. Like, that's a ready-made argument in their defense in that context right now.
So for everybody out there just tuning in, we want to just bring you up to speed. So right now, there's Bitcoin ban discussions happening in Europe, and specifically with proof of work blockchains or proof of work mechanisms opposed to proof of stake. So it says here, fears are growing that major cryptos such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are both proof of work, could be banned in Europe. Now, personally, I don't think they're going to be fully banned. I think this is kind of a scare tactic or a fear message, a little bit, fear mongering a little bit. But I think it's to say, hey, we're serious about this. We're going to work towards something better. It says a vote has taken place today, was supposed to on the markets and crypto assets, a legislative framework for regulating digital coins. We're still waiting to kind of see what is what. We should be, late afternoon right now in Europe. It says it contains a provision that would subject proof of work blockchains to minimum environmental sustainability standards. And there are fears that Bitcoin's decentralized nature would make compliance impossible. Ledger had something to say. The hardware wallet brand founded in France has warned that this would have serious consequences for Europe, and crypto exchanges would be forced to close. Believes, I want to ask you about this because I've been kind of covering this a little bit here this morning too, in talking about because Europe is talking about banning and just outright getting rid of it. Are they setting themselves up to be behind the 8 ball in terms of innovation? What do you think?
So I don't really think so. I don't think that really plays into the mix, because the innovation is going to come no matter what. Just because it's not on a cryptocurrency doesn't mean that we're not going to still be working towards that innovation, and that we're not going to be working at it across the world. And let's face facts, it doesn't matter whether it comes from Europe or not. They're going to adopt it from somebody else to begin with. So the innovation portion, I don't think is something to worry about, because the United States is going to innovate, Canada's going to innovate, everywhere that does accept Bitcoin, they're going to continue the innovation. It's going to continue coming. It's just Europe might not be included in that. But I think that, it's important to point out that early this morning there were some votes taken, pre votes, and it was basically a toss up at this point that this bill would even make it through. And as some of these people who are, nobody who's going to vote no is going to change their mind and say, oh yeah, I would support that ban. But people who are on that yes, they might say no when they hear from their people. So I think this vote ends up dying today, and we see it come back as maybe something lesser in the future. So
That's a good point.
I don't think that we have something to worry about, because it's easy to change that yes vote to a no, but that no vote is not going to be changed to a yes.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Here's another thing that's happening. Bitcoin ATMs banned in the UK. So crypto ATMs are set to vanish from the UK after operations were told to shut down their machines or face enforcement action. The Financial Conduct said no current operators of Bitcoin ATMs had reached the necessary approval to do so. Any of them operating in the UK are doing so illegally, and consumers should not be using them, the city watchdog said. There are fears that these machines could be used for money laundering, as crypto ATMs tend to have fewer background checks than centralized exchanges. That's another narrative we hear all the time, believes, is, crypto is only used for bad actors. It's only used for money laundering and drug dealers. And where do you stand on all of that, man? I guess I'll give you my quick 20-second. I think this is, again, overstated. I'm sure 100% it happens, 100%. But to what effect? And I just don't think it has. I don't think it carries the weight that people put on it, right? But of course, there are bad actors that are money laundering, but they're doing so with cash too, right?
Yeah. So the weird thing is, I think it was, there was a stat that came out last year, and it was like 1% of all transactions were for like drugs or for illegal. Like, it was a very small amount, and it was less than 1%. It was in the like minimal area, and that leads to believe, like, what you're trying to do is you're trying to, again, just get control, and you're using convenient arguments nonstop to try to gain control of what you don't like. And if you don't like the cryptocurrency industry, then you're looking for any reason to try to control it. Because let's face it, the what crypto leads to for a lot of people is evading taxes, because every transaction that's going through, and think about, just go to Uniswap and look at the amount of money transacting every single day that's not taxed. You just kind of look at it and you have this gigantic wow. Because if the taxes and the revenue were collected off of that, then things would be a lot different. And that's what these guys are looking at. And they're just finding that easy, convenient sort of, they need something, because the logic of we want your money, and we want more of your money, nobody is going to vote yes on that. And any politicians who are supporting that for that reason, they're not going to get reelected. Yeah. They have to come up with these convenient narratives, like it's crime, that it's harmful to the environment. These are the fake narratives that are cast out there to try to help solve the problem that isn't real, but it maybe is kind of real. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's all they're trying to do.
I agree 100%. And those are the two you hear all the time. It's like, oh, it's Bitcoin is only used for bad actors, and Bitcoin's bad for the environment. And it's just like, okay, like, can we dive into that a little bit? And when you do, you see, yeah, sure, it's bad for the environment, but it's not nearly as bad as many of these other things. And then money laundering, it's like, sure, there's bad actors using Bitcoin for money laundering, but there are bad actors doing it with cash and every other type of currency. So, but here's the thing, man. I think this whole conversation is interesting. I think the whole industry right now is kind of going through like that growing pain phase. But I do want to come back to talk about taxes real quick. So it is important. And one thing I'm doing is I've hired somebody to completely do all my spreadsheets, because it is a lot of work when you're trading a lot. But here's the thing. When you bring that money from the decentralized, MetaMask or what have you, over to the centralized, now all of a sudden the government's going to be like, wait a minute, where did all this money come from? So it's really important that you track your transactions.
Yes.
Guys, there is a tool out there. There's a lot of these. Coinly is pretty good. It doesn't really get at, some things that really help you as an investor, like with tax write-offs, like gas fees. That's a tax write-off. Buy and sell tax fees, like with many of these cryptocurrencies that we trade, especially in the meme coin space, community coin space, whatever you want to call them. A lot of buy and sell taxes. Those are write-offs. So it's really in your best interest, if you do a lot of trading, to hire a professional to make sure if the IRS comes knocking, you've got a full audit log of every single transaction, every single asset, what the buy and sell tax was. And you could see that on the Etherscan. So for instance, if you cash out of, let's say, Volt Inu, right? And they've got I don't even know what their sell tax is. Let's just say it's 20% or whatever. And you cash out 2,000, but you only acquire, let's say, 1,600. Well, that $400 that you lost there, that's a write-off, right? And these are little things that, again, I can't do it. I mean, because you and I believes, I mean, we got other things to do, right? We're doing our content. Yeah, man. But it's important everybody knows that there's some tools out there like Coinly that'll give you a nice base, but it goes so much deeper than that, because what Coinly doesn't do, what I'm finding out now, is look at all of those small, fees. And that's all manual work. So again, maybe I'm going overboard with how I'm doing it, but I just want to make sure if and when the IRS comes calling, I have a full audit log and say, yep, here you go, sir. Here is all of my MetaMask transactions. Have at it.
I'll tell everybody kind of a secret here. I started with $150 in crypto, and I've turned that into quite a bit more, and I will never pull that out. I will borrow against that until the end of time, so that I'm not paying taxes on it until that capital gains is low enough that it's worth pulling out. Like, there's no circumstance in which I'm paying the government 37% for that money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm not going to be money until then. So
I hear you, man.
I am borrowing against everything. If I ever need, and I've been fortunate, like I'm fortunate, I don't need to even pull out a little bit. I pulled out a little bit for Christmas this past year, but I also made a big deal with somebody and borrowed like 50 grand from them, and then they just have a 50 grand crypto wallet now that is set up for them, that I maintain and manage for them. So that was basically a loan for the purposes of the government. Like I basically took out a loan with somebody else, and bam, they've got 50,000 in crypto now. So
I love it, man. That's cool as heck. Are they like actively trading now with it too? I mean, have they turned that into even more, or they just kind of sit on?
I trade for them, and actually they are entirely stable at this point. It is entirely a stable coin wallet that is staying at 50,000 until I got my own token that I'm going to launch at some point. So when that happens, then they're going to get in on that one with me.
Very cool. Glenn says, brilliant observation. Borrow until you're dead. You can leverage it to get life insurance and borrow against that. Yep. Great insight, man. But dude, I want to hear more about this token. So what's the use case? What's the roadmap? Do you got anything to share on this?
I can't talk anything yet. I have a bunch of partners, and we've gone through the audit process, but we will have something soon enough. As soon as I can launch it and get it out there to people, then I will start. I will start making sure that everybody knows a little something about it. It's a really cool idea. It's a really cool use case. It's just going to take a little while before we can all just kind of launch and go crazy with it.
All right. I'm looking.
Right now, I got nothing.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that. For sure, man. So just generally speaking, man, where are you at with just where the crypto market is from an investing standpoint, dude? Where are you? Where are you buying? Where are you holding on to more stables right now? What's your philosophy with everything going on?
Saw a report this morning that said 78%. One of those places with 78% correct predictions said that Ethereum is going to be trading at the end of this month at 36.22, and it's at 25.50 right about right now. So I've just moved a whole bunch over into Ethereum. I'm going to sit on that for a little while, see what happens. I feel like that's a 33% move from where it is right now. So it seems like it's worth doing. So I'm going to sit on that for a little while. I've got a big bag in Volt. I've got a big bag in Terrarium. And I think Terrarium, my video today, I think that it's on that. Somebody pointed it out that it's on that Ellis 3 curve right now, and that it might just explode and just keep going and going and going. And I think the numbers that I read were 168%, 268%, and 468%. Like that's how that third wave on the Ellis waves goes. And so that means the terrarium is set for just a giant move. And if it gets that giant move, then that's a pretty good amount of money. So I'm going to take profits on that and move it over into Ethereum and just let Ethereum increase. It's the most stable. So
For
might as
sure.
well go for it. And I think the percentage on that one is a little bit higher than Bitcoin to begin with when you look at gains overall and opportunity gains. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I've got I've got the little bags in most of those little crazy ones. I Pongo. Like I love Pongo. So I've got a Pongo. I got Shiba, the Shiba Inu game that we've all been playing lately. Stuff like that. I got what is the other one? Phoenix V2.
Yeah.
That's like a gaming universe. That's like a metaverse play. Then I've got Hirokage, which I got into the other day, and it's up 4x since I got in there.
Nice.
And it's a woman. It's one of those women in crypto. Young girl named Kenza, who is the leader of it. So it's a female-owned token, and she's got a pretty good plan about doing something like TARP did. So it sounded like a good play. And then I've got Shinja. All of the hits I'm playing on. So, but the rest of it's all in Ethereum now.
I like it, man. So with Terra, real quick, were you a pre-sale? Did you get in?
I was not a pre-sale. I got in the moment it launched
Cool.
at 1,000.
Nice.
1,089, as a matter of fact. So
Nice.
I'm feeling real good about everything as we go up and down.
That's great, man. Yeah, I was just doing a video yesterday. Speaking of Ethereum, like the crucial technical, the technical level we need to get past. If we can form a higher high above 3,040, I believe it was. That's what I read yesterday. If we can form a higher high above 3,040, because what was it? A couple weeks ago, we had that little pop and it got back up over 3,000, but it was short lived. And if we could just get past that barrier, I really think ETH can run. There's so many catalysts going on with ETH, man. You had the EIP 1559 upgrade back in August, which of course is constantly burning ETH. We're moving to the proof of stake here soon. People are locking more ETH up every single day. I think there's a lot of big movers and shakers in that space, like Cardano and Solana and all these competitors, but I still think the best bet, in my opinion, I kind of go back and say, it's like the S&P 500, I think, right now of the next 10 years in crypto. I really do. I think it's ETH. And Bitcoin, in my opinion, will do very well too. But we're seeing, things like today happen with the EU. People could push back on Bitcoin because it's proof of work, and that could stunt its growth. It could.
It could.
So, Ethereum is kind of already out in front of making that switch to proof of stake. It's been delayed a few times. Hopefully, as you said earlier, it actually happens in Q2. But it's my biggest bet, man. That's where I'm at. Of course, I do have some of the competitors with Cardano and Solana, primarily being the other two, man. But where do you sit on Ethereum and Bitcoin? Will Ethereum flip Bitcoin? What do you think?
You know what? We've been hearing for a long time that was going to happen, and I don't know that it ever is. Like, if it does, it's years down the road. I don't think that there's a soon sort of time where we're going to feel that, because Bitcoin is still that store of value. That's still the first one. It's the big daddy. Ethereum, even though there's plenty of activity and there's plenty of stuff on it, has a lot of competition right now. And until Ethereum starts to, the next logical step in business is to start buying out some of these old blockchains. That's what, if this were in the real world and not in a virtual world or in a digital, we would already be buying it out. Like Bitcoin would have already bought, or Ethereum would have already bought Cardano. Ethereum would have already bought Terra Luna. You know what I mean? Like
Good point.
so.
Yeah.
There's only so many blockchains that are going to make it. Like I'm in Crow, and I'm big into Crow, and I'm big into Matic right now. But I'm just kind of letting them ride and seeing what happens. But somewhere down the road, there's going to be a flippening. It's just not yet. Like we need more adoption. We need more. The ETFs. We don't have enough ETFs around. So until we start to see those in America, that's going to lead to the mass adoption that everybody's looking for. The ETFs across the world and the adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender. That's how this whole thing goes. And because Bitcoin will always be that primary move, that's going to be what keeps it in the forefront. And then at the end, there's 21 million Bitcoin by 2032, and there's 78 million millionaires in the world. That means that each millionaire can't even have one Bitcoin. So what kind of value does that produce at some point? Like that's
right.
Going to be astonishing what Bitcoin does at some point. But let me finish because I got to get to work here. I got two things to say. Number one,
sure.
Somebody asked, what about Saitama? I'm still in Saitama. I've not sold any Saitama, but that's a very long play for me, just so everybody understands. I did a video. The video's coming out today. Kind of has my opinion. If you look at what happened overnight, a guy got in for 150 ETH on Saitama overnight, and that didn't even shake the price because they just sold off. The rest of the group just sold off. Like there's a lot of people who are not happy with what happened the last 5 months. Saitama has a lot of work to do to establish trust in people. So I'm holding on to Saitama, but I'm not expecting a whole lot from it in the near future. In the far future, things might get a little bit better. And number two, The Batman is the best Batman movie ever made. If any of you disagree with me and you say Dark Knight, then you didn't see the Batman movie. Robert Pattinson is the best Batman that there ever has been, and it is the craziest thing for me to ever even say something this ridiculous. But that was the best comic book movie I think I've ever seen. It was unbelievable and incredible, and that's totally off topic, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the Batman.
I love it, Believes. Hey, man, as always, dude, thanks for joining. Have a great day, brother.
All right, guys. You guys enjoy your day, and Zach, we'll talk later.
All right, man. Sounds good. All right, so that was Believes joining us. Always great takes and great insight there in the crypto space. I appreciate him popping on. Let me get to some things in chat here. What's up, Sam? How we doing? Impact XP has been on fire. Let's take a look at Impact XP, where we're at. And I do want to come back to some other things too. Nick J, I'm going to come back to you too. I see some questions in there. Impact XP, let's see. Impact XP has been on fire. I'll tell you what. Hopefully this is the right contract. They've had a couple different contracts here, so hopefully this is the correct one. Yeah, this is. So it had a big day. What was this? On the 12th. Yeah. It's since dialed back a little bit, but you could see it's well off of those big highs that it had back in December and January. But yeah, nice little pop here with the Dubai conference happening. So there's the Impact XP chart. Let's see, Nick J. Zach, any news on Robinhood wallets? Have you been able to test the beta? I know people really dislike Robinhood, but if they have a good wallet and add more cryptos, it would be a good place for starters. I'll tell you what, Nick, I'll address this in a few different ways. In terms of news on Robinhood wallets, I did a video on Robinhood wallets, and I actually went and bought, transferred Ethereum from my Robinhood over to my MetaMask. So you can actually go on YouTube and find that. Have I been able to test the beta? So that answers that. I know people really dislike Robinhood. I'll tell you what, I mean, I get why they dislike Robinhood for various reasons, especially during the whole Dogecoin event when they were shutting down or limiting trading and things like that. But from an app perspective and just from an interface perspective, man, they hit it out of the park. But again, you said if they had a good wallet and they add more crypto, it'd be a good place for starters. I agree. And I think their wallet, it worked perfectly when I used it the one time, and I showed you, I showed everybody, how that worked in the video. So now, will they add more cryptos? I think they should. I think they still want to be kind of, in the stock world. But what was it back in 21? They actually, for the first 2 quarters of 2021, made more money in crypto than they did in the stocks. And they only have, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, and I think that's it. Maybe Bitcoin Cash. They only have like 5 or 6 options there. So I'd love to see them add some of the other, blue chip cryptos like Cardano, Solana, Shiba Inu. That would be nice. Let's see here. All right, Jim says, Jim, I'm sorry I couldn't find that stream earlier, man. So you're bringing us up to speed. Parliament live stream now has ended. Us plebes get no access to vote results or info, it seems. I bet Rothschild Reuters know which way the vote went. Okay, so guys, he's talking about what's going on in Europe right now, as there's a crucial vote today which could ban Bitcoin in Europe. I don't think it's going to go there. I don't think it's going to go all the way to banning Bitcoin, but they're talking about proof of work mechanisms. They don't like how it's gone and how it's going in terms of environmental friendliness or lack thereof. And they don't like, that it's potentially used for bad actors. But these are arguments, we heard for decades now, well, at least a decade since 2010. And I tend to think that both of these arguments are overstated, and we hear them over and over again. But there are many arguments that we can make to combat these things they stand on. So let's see here. What do you guys think Volt will pass in line with zeros? I'm guessing like get rid of a zero. Volt has been on a nice tear, man. I like Volt. We'll go back and see Volt. It's one of the best looking charts out there. It really is. Let's see. Volt. Yeah, Volt's been in this range for a little while. It's been consolidating here for a little while. Similar to where it did here back in February, this little consolidation period, we're seeing a very similar pattern here. And then we had the breakout. So could we be getting ready for a breakout here with Volt? I don't know. Maybe. I think if this market turns back on, certainly that's in the cards. So Volt is a really good project, though. Really good project that I have come around to. I missed it early, man. I wish I, got in back here in December, but let's see. Yeah, Berto, I will be doing a terrarium video for sure, man. For sure. What's happening, Ryan? How we doing, man? Oh, this is coming back at Believes. F Batman, Spider-Man all the way. Love it. Overcome says bad actors use money. Dryers are more environmentally unfriendly. Interesting take there, yeah. David says Volt. Yeah, man, it's looked good. Long-term play, METF is a crypto ETF on Kronos. Nice. Thanks for the super chat, too, for the family. Appreciate that. The Batman exceeds my expectations. Nice. How much do you think SHIB can hit when Turkey adopts SHIB? If that happened, it would certainly impact the price. But I think SHIB would obviously go up if something like that were to happen. They have a lot of other catalysts that I think will aid in it moving up once the market turns back on. Shibarium being the one that I'm really excited to see happen. Michael said he got the dips on Volt both times, so he's glad. Nice. That's the way to do it, man. That's the way to do it. Demo, no, they're not paying me for a Batman promo. That's hilarious. Believes was talking about it when he was on. What's happening with Pinu and Shiryu? Been a while. Jacob, Piccolo and Shiryu are both struggling, man. Piccolo, I'm still holding. I got wrecked on Piccolo, like everybody. Shiryu, same thing. They've got a couple other things happening. Shiryu's got their new swap out, which I thought was really good. I was pretty impressed by it. But yeah, man, I mean, they're just they're two assets that kind of got lost in the shuffle right now. I think Shiryu probably, in my opinion, has a little bit more upside right now than Piccolo, but I'm holding Piccolo because I'm not going to sell it for a loss way down where I am. But yeah, man, it just goes to show you nobody's perfect. You can't win them all. So everybody is going to lose in any type of investing. You're going to lose. So at some point, but the real winners just win more trades than they lose. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Be right more than you're wrong. So what's up, Ryan? Good brother. Need the UK to get their foot off the neck of crypto. Yeah, I know. I know. Check out ETH Shib. I heard about this one. What's up, Everto? Hello. What do you think about XRP? It had some good news come out. They saw a little bit of price action there too. They did see a little bit of price action. I like XRP a lot. Okay, I really do. But in terms of it moving a lot right now with the SEC still kind of breathing down their neck, I just don't see it. It's down at 76 cents right now. It's up about 5% on the 7-day off that little good news that they had. But I do like it for the long term. XRP for the long term, I do like it. You think the crypto market is being manipulated? Of course. Yeah, of course. So all markets are by somebody for sure. Emmett, thanks for the $1 super sticker, man. Feg token. Emmett, it's been around for a little while. I never got into Feg. Let's see where it's at. Feg token. Let's see. It's coming up. Wow, they got 94,000. 949,000 holders. No way. They really have that many holders. That's crazy. I did not know that. So here's Feg. Interesting. It's kind of looking like Shiba Inu did back in 2021, right? So it's been flatlining, a couple little pops here and there, but big community. I'll say that for sure. Let's see. Let's go back over to Ethereum chain because somebody wants me to take a look at what's up, John. Shiba Doge. Still holding this one. I don't have a ton of Shiba Doge, but a good amount. I do hold one of their NFTs too. But I do like Shiba Doge. I think what these guys are doing is really building something that is sustainable, built to last. You can see here it had a second little pop in the chart here to start the month. Now it's just kind of consolidating here. But I do like Shiba Doge. It's growing pretty quick too. 17,000 holders almost. Let's see. EU, not UK. Right. Yeah. EU, right. Any thoughts on Saitama and the Dubai event? Yeah, man, I think it could be an opportunity for them to gain new investors, obviously build relationships. But other than that, I mean, they can just showcase what they're doing. Hopefully they can showcase, CytoMask a little bit, to the extent that it's working properly, hopefully over there. I know people in various parts of the world have had some issues here and there, but what I'm most excited about with Saitama and CytoMask, or I guess with the mask, is the staking. So I'm really looking forward to the staking aspect of it. I think you can, really get a lot of people interested in using CytoMask because of the dynamic staking rewards, right? Because that's really, in my opinion, the real reason why you wouldn't hold your Saitama just on MetaMask. Like, of course, you can, swap into Impact XP or these other things, but you can do all of that on Uniswap. There's really no competitive advantage there. There's no difference. The competitive advantage is the dynamic staking. That is where, that is why I would move my money, my Saitama, off of MetaMask and onto CytoMask when the dynamic staking is live. That's where I'm at on it. And I think there's a lot of other people that share those same views. XRP will move exponentially when and if the case is settled or won and they have clarity. I agree 100%, Boca. I agree. It's only BTC banned or every crypto? All right, so you're talking about the EU reviewing the regulatory stuff, and it looks like they have a decision, but it's not been made public yet, by the way. But yeah, let's recap everybody, what's going on. So basically, here you go. A European Parliamentary Committee is voting today on a new regulatory framework for crypto assets. Now, their real big issue is with cryptocurrencies that use a proof of work mechanism. So proof of work include Bitcoin and Ethereum. Of course, Ethereum is moving to proof of stake eventually. Now, the reference to minimum sustainability as well as the rollout requirements appear to be last-minute changes introduced to curb or potentially ban the use of digital currencies working on a proof of work consensus mechanism. For instance, these are things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Proof of work is one of the main consensus mechanisms governing the Bitcoin blockchain. Bitcoin miners contribute computer power to the network, which secures and processes the blockchain and are rewarded in Bitcoin for their contribution. So that is what's going on that front. Okay. And again, we're going to get some information on this very, very soon, but that is what's going on with the EU right now. Let's see. Just going through chats. Thoughts on ICP? Internet Computer was never a big fan, Golden Knight. I've stayed away from ICP. I think it goes against decentralization. Donovan, so to hurt Russia, they're going to screw us all. Donovan, it is frustrating. Yeah, I agree with you, man. If they were to fully ban something, I don't think that's going to happen, though. What's up, Tony? Good morning. I don't know anything about the INV token, man. I do not. Are you still invested in the Inuasha ecosystem? Yes, I still hold some of my Cliff. I took, good portion of profits on Cliff, though, during its rise. And I know a lot of people did in our private group. A lot of people slowly took profits out when it had the crazy run all the way to $200 million market cap, which was awesome. Yeah, I'm still holding Pochi Inu. I'm upside down in. I'm hoping when the NFT comes out, the NFTs come out, that it can reverse. That was just an unfortunate launch because we had everything going on with the whole war and things like that. It was kind of a timing thing where it just didn't time up properly. But yeah, I'm holding a few others too from Inuasha. Let's see. For the family, can you check out MMF? Yes, because you sent in the super chat. Let's take a look at it. MMF. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll look it up. Is it on the Ethereum? Mad Meerkat Finance. Mad Meerkat Finance. What is this? Never heard of this. So it's been here for looks like a couple days. Well, it launched on March 6th, but there's no data after the 8th. So I'm not quite sure what that is, but there you go. We took a look at it. Thanks for the super chat. Let's see here. I want to check on a few other cryptos here. Apollo, let's see where it's at. It's been on a dip a little bit here over the past week or so. Let's see. It's at 7.3. There you go. There's Apollo on a little bit of a dip. Green candlestick forming today. We'll see what happens there. I'll have Matt Johnson's coming on the channel on Wednesday from Apollo. So that'll be a fun one. Let's see. Let's go back and see what Terra's doing. Terra, let's see. Yeah, Neil, we talked about Saitama already. Oh, look at Terra, man. It's looking really bullish. It's looking good. Let's see. Engine token news. I still like I still like Engine, Jacob. I am holding that one. Let's see where Engine's at. It got hit pretty good over the past few months with it being a new token, but man, I really like the game they're building. Let's see where they're at. Yeah, they've kind of just flatlined out. They're consolidating. They had that one big run up. They came out in November, had a nice slow growth, and then people took profits, man. People took profits when things started getting rough in the crypto market. And the big thing with Engine is they just didn't have a product out soon enough, right? They still have a lot of hype around their game, but I think what a lot of these play to earn games are coming to understand is when you launch, you better have a product coming right behind it very, very soon, right? And I think that can really help. From what I understand, the trading fees on SideMask is much lower than Uniswap. I think sometimes they are, but I don't know. I've heard mixed things on this, Mike Miles. I don't really know. I haven't used SideMask, so you still have to deal with the ETH gas fee, but the SideMask fee is just a few cents. Okay. Well, that's good. If it's cheaper, then that is also a competitive advantage too. I haven't used SideMask though, so again, I'm waiting to stake my Saitama that I have, and earn those dynamic staking rewards. That's really, for me personally, why I want to use SideMask. Let's see here. Rukan, thank you for the super chat. Do you hold baby Doge and have you staked it? If so, where have you staked your baby Doge? I do not hold baby Doge, and I therefore have not staked it. But baby Doge is an interesting player, man. They've got bigger holder counts than Shiba Inu, which is interesting. But no, I do not hold baby Doge on the Binance side of things. Thoughts on Boba? Boba's been really fascinating to watch. I think they've got an AMA coming up. I think it's tonight with Ozzy Austin. I'm pretty sure I'll be tuning into that. Yeah, Boba and Boba Mask. That's pretty interesting. They had a great run up, and now they're experiencing a little bit of a downturn. People finally taking profits, which here's what I want to see right now with Boba Tama is sideways action from here, right? Because you had the big pump. What I don't want to see is the big dump off. If we can get sideways action here, that's going to show nice, strong support for people who believe in the project long term. Okay. So we'll see. But it had to come down. I mean, everything that goes up, especially like this, it has to come down. People are going to take profits. So, yeah. I did, SC. I did. Terrarium to the moon. Yeah, man. It's looking really good. Let's see. Good one, Justin. Man, it's hilarious. It's whatever, dude. It's all fun. Whatever. Star Atlas. I like this one. Yeah, this has great potential in the play to earn space for sure, Nelson. Great potential. A DeFi play. Have you heard of Drip? No, I've not, Nefty. That's an interesting one. I'll have to take a look at that. Drip. Let me write that down. Drip. Let's see. Opinions on CoinView Cap. Will I be buying? I like what they're trying to build there for sure, man. It's gonna be fascinating to watch. Yeah. I'm probably gonna be getting into the pre-sale. How much? I don't know. But I'm probably gonna be getting into the pre-sale. It's a public pre-sale, by the way. Let's see. Professor to Crypto. Yeah, man. Dream Token. I'm holding the Dream Token. All the pre-sellers are now out. Price is perfect to get in. I think what they're doing is very unique. I'm willing to hold that one for a while. Sky's the limit. Professor to Crypto. Not that one. The UST pair. Okay, gotcha for my family. So, Emmett Ellis, thanks for the super sticker, man. Shibnobi. Yeah, let's take a look at Shibnobi. Let's see what's up. Shibnobi. I'm still holding Shibnobi too, by the way, guys. I'm upside down in a little bit of it that I'm holding, but my other wallet is up. So I've got two wallets still with some Shinja. All right, so there you go. It had its big run up in January. Of course, it had the first big run up in December. So now it's come back down to where it was, and well, it's come back down to where it was in December, actually. But Dojo Swap looks pretty sweet. I like what they're building. They've got obviously a really strong community. I'm willing to hold the rest out. What I've got. Kong Tama. I've heard about this, but I haven't looked into it yet. Do you think they're going to raise internet interest rates as planned on the Fed meeting this week? And how will that affect the market for the near future? Emmett, great question here. It'll be really interesting to watch what happens on Wednesday when Jay Powell talks about interest rates. If they hike, or I'm sorry, if they continue to print money, it should be good for crypto in the short term. It should be good for crypto because last time they did that was, when crypto went on a crazy bull run. So in the short term thereafter, it should be good for crypto. But we'll see. There's nothing we can do. We've got to sit back and kind of take it all in. It will affect, the markets, though, no question. Good morning. Please look at M content. I'm bullish on the project. Are you familiar with the token? Cuddy, thanks for the $5 super chat. I am not familiar with that one, but we'll take a look at it, man. Shib Toro. I like this one. I like this one. I really like the flexonomics aspect that they're building out here. And they've got some really interesting ideas for future growth as it relates to kind of like taking a community DAO approach and letting the community both talk about, what the buy and sell taxes should be, what the future of the ecosystem should look like, what the NFTs should look like that are coming down the road. And because of this, they're creating, what they describe as a heightened floor almost, right? It's almost like an anti-dumping mechanism because of these flexonomics and the way they're going about it. So you can see here, they've just pretty much, they had a nice little run up, nice launch, but unlike most launches of new tokens like this, it was not a pump and then dump. Look, this was a pump, a little bit of a sell-off, and now we've consolidated. So this is a really healthy looking chart. Okay, really good launch. We've come down a little bit, consolidated, and we're getting ready for a next run up. I think when the market turns on. So, in terms, I don't know which one you're asking on here, the pre-sale, but for CoinViewCap, all the information is outlined on their website. Okay, so if we go over here and go to CVC, if you're asking about this one, the pre-sale date is coming up on March 21st. So there you go. They're going to have to show you their tokenomics here. Let's see, website. This should take us. Okay, now this is the actual. We need to go to the other one. Here it is, CVC official. So here you go. This is everything you need to know on CoinViewCap. Pre-sale closes 25th. It opens on the 21st. So there you go. Everything you need to know right here on the site. So Hector, let's see. Mandacong, 350K market cap. Thanks for the super chat, man. I always like looking into the new tokens for sure. How you will see CVT in the near future. It's hard to tell, man. It's a new launch, but I like the idea. I'm still kind of digging into it, how much I want to put into the pre-sale. I think you could put up to 5 ETH max, 0.01 minimum buy in the pre-sale. Seda Nobi's a good new coin, low market cap, staking pays out dividends in Saitama and Shinja. Nice. Really appreciate everybody hanging out with us here this morning. We're going to go for a little while longer and take some more questions. And yeah, this has been fun. We had Believe stop on. A lot of people hop on and ask some questions. So it's been cool. Have I looked into Xenu and Luna 1? Luna 1, no. Xenu, yes. Yeah. So let's see. Lucky Roo. Yeah, I heard about this one too. Some folks were talking about this one. The issue I see with flexonomics is the average crypto investor has no idea what is actually best for the token, only what makes their bags bigger, which isn't always the best approach, in my opinion. That's a good point, Everto, but I also think it's an opportunity through flexonomics to teach people. Because, I mean, if you have a big Telegram group, right, or a big whatever group, of investors that are talking and communicating, chances are some of those people will have the knowledge and they can share that knowledge with others. And then together they can all make decisions. But I hear you, man. It could be an issue if people are making decisions that don't know what's best for the project. I gotcha. Let's see. Oh, CVT. People were asking about CVT. Sorry about that. I got that confused with CVC. CVT. I haven't followed CVT. I don't know. What is CVT? Let's see. Coin Vault Coin. Yeah, I heard about this. Right. I did not cover it or invest in this thing or anything. I don't know what it's done. Coin Vault. What is it? It already launched. Wait, where is it again? CVT. Let's see if it just comes up that way. Coin Vault Coin. it going to come up? I don't see it. Let's go CVT. See if that comes up. That's funny, Daniel. What do you think of Phantom or Sandbox? Like them both. CVT sank. Okay. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I'm having trouble finding it, but I guess it pumped and dumped, it sounds like, which you'll find that a lot with tokens. So it's important if you're going to get into a crypto like that, and create a plan before you get in and take your profits. I'm ready for ShibaCon. Yeah, me too, John. Let's talk a little bit about that before we close out the stream this morning. And we went a little bit longer than we usually do. Monday through Friday, though, every single Monday through Friday, we're going to try to do a 9 a.m., right around 9 a.m. Eastern stream. So let's go ShibaCon. I do want to hit this real quick. This is a big event that we're together. Community members in the Shiba Inu ecosystem are putting together. It's going to be in Las Vegas, coming up in sometime in September. Venue is set up, ready to go. There are going to be tickets available live for the event, right around 1,500 to I think 2,000, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood. But if you can't make it to the event or can't get in this year, there are also going to be virtual ticket options as well. So that's what's going on with ShibaCon coming up this September. They're looking to basically do a lot of things in terms of setting up panels, having prominent people there in the ecosystem, and just a great day or couple days of celebration for how far SHIB has come. And it'll be great to just bring everybody together in the community. And again, this is a community-driven event. This is not anything tied to Shiba Inu or anything like that. There was some confusion the other night on Twitter Spaces, so wanted to clear that up. Glenn Field talking a little bit more about ShibToro here, because we've been talking about their Flexonomics. So let's hit on this. We'll go back to ShibToro. Flexonomics is not determined by the average crypto investor. You can't have a mob rule. The key choices are explained. Education actually happens, and the community gets to respond. So there you go. It's not just quickly, making decisions and running with it. It's talked about. It's conversation, which I think is great. I love this idea. I've yet to hear anybody else doing it this way. So there we go. And thanks for clearing that up, Glenn. Appreciate that. Abe of Spades, good morning, brother. Thanks for that Bobatama video. You're welcome, man, and thank you for the super chat, man. You've been super kind to us here in the chat, man. You're always dropping in here. I know you're a huge Bobatama fan. Looking forward to the AMA coming up and learning more about the project and the developments. So thanks, brother. Appreciate you being here and for that super chat. Took a look at Chrome Metaverse. Take a look at Chrome Metaverse on Dex Honeypot. FitHub. Interesting. Chrome Metaverse. Well, I'm just going to say, FitHub, it sounds like we should just stay away from it, right? What's happening with China stock market crash? I didn't see that. I did not see that. Let's see. And guys, we are talking about the EU a little bit. I'll bring that home here in a minute. Wall Street's China. Oh, looks like I'm out of free Bloomberg views. Oh, man. It says here, Wall Street's China, though, stock route nears .com crash levels. U.S. listed Chinese shares has fallen 72% from its peak. Yep. Bloomberg wants me to pay to read their articles now. Let's see. CNN Money. China stock crash. China has spent $236 billion on its market bailout. Wow. China's latest trade data disappoints. Interesting. So that's a big story actually here in the background. Well, wait a minute. That's outdated. That's 2015. What the heck? Come on. Let's see here. Let's go news, and then let's sort it by date so we know what's up. Okay. Oh, this should pop open. Business Times. Let's see here. Connects out of some of this stuff here. Oops. Oh, that's just an ad. I'm like, what the heck is that? Wall Street's China stock rout nearing .com crash levels. Here it is. This is dated today. So what do we got here? Only a year ago, Chinese stocks in the U.S. were enjoying an unprecedented boom. Alibaba Group holding alone lost nearly $500 billion of value since mid-February. Wow. The biggest wipeout of shareholder wealth worldwide. Crazy. The dramatic turnaround started last year after crackdown on tech firms. Losses have accelerated amid concern that his alliance with Russia's Vladimir Putin will damage China's global standing. The growing risk of Chinese firms delisting from the U.S. have also weighed on stocks. The rout has upended a raft of optimistic forecasts across Wall Street and raised questions about the viability of the market that has financed some of the Chinese most important companies. Earlier in March, Beijing announced a gross domestic 5% a year. The growth target suggests the credit cycle is on the upturn and the economy will likely start improving as early in the second quarter. Interesting. Okay. But the real big top story of the day, guys, is what's going on with the EU. So EU to review regulatory framework for crypto. We talked about this for the first about 20 minutes, half hour, maybe even 40 minutes of the stream. So if you missed it, go back and check it out. We definitely hit on a lot of things relating to this. Believes came on and joined us. That was cool. Measure could ban crypto. Ethereum industry leaders say proof of work mechanism to be targeted by regulations. So basically, here is what is going on here right now, today, actually. Proof of work, limiting proof of work crypto back on the table as EU Parliament prepares virtual currencies vote. We should get some more information on what actually transpired during this meeting. But the latest draft of the EU's proposed legislative framework for governing virtual currencies still contains a provision that could limit the use of proof of work cryptos. Proof of work is, again, more energy intensive consensus mechanisms that underlie popular cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum is moving to proof of work, but they're just not there yet. The computing process has come under heavy scrutiny from lawmakers in the EU over energy concerns. So we talked a lot about, what those concerns really are compared to how they forecast them and broadcast them. Is it really warranted? So we got into some good discussion about that earlier on in the stream that I think is beneficial for people to go back and check out. So let's see here. Last couple things here. WM, I'm not trying to skip comments, man. What's going on? Let me get right to you on BNB. I don't know where you're at, man. I'm trying my best, bud. CVT is a coin vault token. Okay. I'm not sure what you're asking, but I'm trying my best to get to everything. Let's see. Fox News was talking about Chinese stocks not complying with American auditing rules, so America getting out. Interesting, Timsky. Nice info. Thanks, man. Okay, that is it for the live stream. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it. I do like Phantom and Sandbox. Yes, I like both of them. So let me know your guys' thoughts about all of this, what's going on with the EU proposed legislative framework for governing virtual currencies. Let me know what your thoughts are on across the crypto space. Would love to hear from you. Have a great start to your week here on Monday, and I will see you all very soon. Videos, of course, will be out later today as well. So take care, everybody. See ya. Hey, what's happening, Crypto Queen? Awesome. Yeah, Believes is awesome. See y'all.